hope you're all doing well. This is a what I eat in a day video, but I was just sitting down to edit it and I noticed that I didn't do an intro, or I did but I didn't press record, so it cuts straight into lunch. So let me get you up to speed. I've just checked on my app, which is another handy feature of the app. You can go back a few days, and I had a banana and coffee for my breakfast, which is pretty standard at the moment, nothing too exciting there. But now we're going to go straight into lunch. I hope you all enjoy it. Give it a thumbs up if you do. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to see these every other day from me, and let's get on with the video. I popped my recipe for my spicy lamb mix in the description box down below because you can do so much with it. You can have it with pasta, you can mold it into burgers, meatballs, pizza toppings, flatbread toppings, have it on some sourdough with cheese in the oven. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. And also you can substitute it for a less fatty mince. You could use pork mince, or you could also use beef mince as well if you want to make it a bit more point friendly. But of course I'm on maintenance, so I don't mind having a bit of lamb every now and again. But yeah, that's going to take a few minutes to do. And then I have decided what we're having for dinner tonight. I'm going to make some kind of kebab. So I think I'm going to make chicken skewer kebabs because I think it's a great one for the kids to get involved with. It's a simple one. It's great for a fake away. It's a bit more fun. And we'll possibly have it with either rice and bread, or we might have it with chips. Not too sure yet, but I'll keep you posted. But it's a very simple recipe. It's one of my own and it's incredibly simple to do. So I'll show you that later. But for now, let's get some lunch on because I am hungry. It's now time for lunch. I've just done some homeschooling, and as you saw, I popped into the freezer to see what I had, and I came across a bit of a treat. So you may remember a few videos ago I did some spicy lamb flatbreads, which I'm so happy about because I popped one in the freezer, and no better time than the present to have something that's going to give me a bit more fuel. So I'm going to pop this into the oven. I have used one of the flatbreads that I keep buying from Tesco. They're 5 points each, so the base is 5 points, and then the spicy lamb mix and the cheese that I've used is 5 points as well. So it is a 10-point lunch. It's not the most calorie conscious, but I feel like, you know what, I fancy it. I need more fuel. I need more energy these days, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to pop this into my oven. It should only take about 10 to 12 minutes to do on a higher heat, and I'm going to have it with a bit of mayo, and it's going to be delicious. Guys, it's come to that time in the afternoon and I'm gonna have a coffee, but I also fancy some chocolate. These aren't the best in regards to point value. If I remember correctly, I think they're about 14 points, which feels insane to be honest. I'm going to share this with Layla because I promised her that I would, but it is a standard size one. So I'm going to pop the kettle on, make a coffee, and have half a cream egg. But if you were to have the full one, and I suggest you do if you can, it's 14 points. This is the kind of thing I use my weeklies for. I don't mind too much, but that's 17 points for lunch and this alone, which is quite hefty. Hi guys, so I just checked on the app and the cream egg was actually 9 points for the whole thing. I'm so gutted. I well would have eaten all that had Layla not have wanted half. So I ended up having 5 because, as I said, we shared it. So yeah, 5 points for the cream egg. I'm just finishing off my coffee and then we'll start on the marinade for the chicken kebabs. Okay, so it's now time to make the dinner, and it's going to be a very simple marinade, guys. Again, ideal for if you don't have a ton of time but you want something really flavourful, or if you just want a fake away. So I'm going to be using Hellmann's light mayo. You could use light to the light if you would like to, and you could also use fat-free Greek yogurt. Feel free to use what you like. I just think this adds a really nice creaminess and thickness to the chicken, so feel free to adjust that accordingly. I have a good quality olive oil, 2 decent sized garlic cloves, some salt and pepper. Of course I have my chicken breast here, and the key ingredient, you're going to need some tandoori masala powder, which is what gives it that intense tandoori flavour. So I also have some bamboo skewers here that I'm going to be using to assemble our chicken kebabs. But the first thing I need to do is get this marinade made up, and it's again very, very simple. And I'm also going to cut this chicken up into more manageable sizes. But before I do that, let's just make up that marinade. So I tend to do this by eye, but you want about 2 tablespoons of the tandoori marinade. You don't need much because it is quite intense. And then you want to add 3 tablespoons of the Hellmann's mayo. one final sprinkling of salt, which is of course optional, and a final dash of pepper, and then finally a squeeze of the rest of that lime juice. If you have a barbecue, or you can cook this on coal, it would taste absolutely incredible. We're putting it out on the grill. Feel free to do it in the oven as well. You can absolutely do that, but again, if you can cook this on hot coals, it is one of the best tasting things you will ever have. And again, so simple. You could use lamb for this, you could pretty much do whatever you wanted, but I think you'll agree it's a really easy but impressive looking dinner. So they're about to go in the oven, or on the grill, sorry, and we're gonna have it with rice, perhaps some bread, salad, but the possibilities are quite endless. So you could really go to town on this, perhaps even do a peri peri or just a regular chicken seasoning. It's just so simple. My kebabs are in the oven, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to whip up some rice, but instead of doing plain rice, I'm going to make a spring onion and mushroom rice. Now Andrew doesn't like that, so I'm going to cook these separately and add it to the rice later. If it was just for me, I would whip it all in at the same time so the flavours can infuse, but because he doesn't really like that, I'm going to wash these, fry them up with some herbs and spices, and then add it to the plain rice later. And it just makes a nice change. Like, you could have regular rice, of course you could, but I feel like just adding what fruit and veg you're eating in your fridge to minimise any waste that you have is great. And also flavours and textures and getting veggies into you, and rice is a great way to play about. So I'm going to get these washed and diced up.
We bop and pretty hot, I'm as happy as I can be. Oh, boom, boom, and pretty zoom. Love is sweet, love is grand, works one. Oh, we bop and pretty hot, I'll never be a millionaire. Oh, boom, boom, and pretty zoom.
What I'm going to do is cook my rice as I normally would, and then I'm going to add a bit of it, or whatever my serving is, to this pan and let it infuse with all the veggies and the seasoning, and it's going to be delicious. Feel free to skip this step. Obviously it's kind of like a fried rice, kind of not, because I'm not using a ton of oil. I only swipe the pan with some butter, but it's going to add a lot of flavour and make, again, boring rice a little bit more interesting. As you can see, it's very much the next day now, and I thought I would end the video because I'm pretty sure I didn't end it last night after munching on those kebabs and that rice and just going into an absolute food coma. But it was absolutely delicious. It's so surprising because it's so easy, yet it looks so impressive. And also just perfuming and flavouring the rice a little bit makes such a difference, and it completely changes the dish. So I would definitely recommend, if you're a rice lover, just getting more creative with your rice, popping new things in, seasoning it with different spices, different water when you cook it, when you boil it, adding lemon, lime to perfume it. It's just delicious. So I hope you've all enjoyed it. I will pop the point value and the recipe for my tandoori kebabs and rice in the description box down below, along with any other information and links I think you might enjoy. So I hope you've all enjoyed it. Don't forget to give it a big fat thumbs up if you have. I think I will have had rollover, unless I count in things that I didn't count, like oil and that kind of thing. But again, I'm on maintenance, so I'm not being too strict, but I give you guys the information should you want it. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!